Namaskar. This is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. The Indian economy and the MSME and informal sector in it in particular have been suffering in tandem with a slowing economy which began a few years ago. The slowdown in the Indian economy became extremely pronounced and sharp with the announcement of a draconian demonetization by the government of India sometime in November 2016. And thereafter, the downslide in India's growth rate continued quarter after quarter, such that in March 2020, India's growth rate hit a dismal figure of 3%. That was an extremely worrisome low to touch. As if the sufferings of a slowing economy were not enough, we had COVID last year. The pandemic hit India just as it hit the world. And in response to it, the government announced the most stringent lockdown for any country. And resultantly, India's economy shrank by about 24.4% in the first quarter of financial year 2021. Thereafter, the contraction has continued, and the financial year 2021 is expected to have ended with a contraction of the Indian economy to the tune of about 10% for the year. As if last year's corona wave was not enough, we now have yet another resurge wave of corona coming back. Corona has come back to India at a time when no real recovery or no real revival of the economy had truly set in. We had been suffering, the economy was fragile and weak, and before we could recover, we have COVID Part 2 in 2021 coming back to us. According to us, this wave has just come. It has just begun. And the peak is nowhere in sight. Even though India hit an all-time high of about 104,000 COVID cases in a single day yesterday, despite that, the peak is still far away. Banks like State Bank of India think that this wave will hit a peak only sometime in the second week of May. And that means till then, there will be a sharp increase in COVID cases on a daily basis. And the lockdown which has begun now is bound to become perhaps even more stringent. A more stringent version of a lockdown is imminent, is very likely according to us, because India now needs to break the chain of infection which has already spread and infected and crippled major production states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and various others. If this wave continues the way it has, then yet another setback to the Indian economy, to the struggling Indian economy, is extremely likely and imminent. We will now need to see, we now have a question, because of this COVID surge coming back, which are the kind of units which are really going to survive this brutal onslaught to the Indian economy? Let us look at the auto sector as an example to see which kind of auto units will survive and which will not. Let's see how does the auto sector appear to us. If you look at the automobile industry of India, it's large. It contributes to about 8% of India's GDP. It also contributes about 1 to 1.2 lakh crore by way of taxes to the government kitty. And this sector has been hit hard over the years and extremely hard because of COVID. The sales of the sector in financial year 2021 have been less than the sales that the sector recorded in financial year 2015, meaning thereby that the sector has suffered a setback of 7 years in its growth. The sector is where it was in 2015 when we talk about being in 2021. India's auto sector witnessed a peak in sales in 2019 financial year, when across the board, sales of two-wheelers, four-wheelers, three-wheelers and commercial vehicles touched an all-time high of 26 million units. Thereafter, in financial year 2020, the sales fell, and they fell because of a significant increase in the cost of ownership of vehicles in India. Then we had financial year 21. It was a washout year on account of COVID. With COVID coming back, it is anybody's guess what will be the sales of the sector in financial year 2022, which has just begun. If we look at financial year 21, the total auto sales in number of units was to the tune of 18.8 million units, which is much less than what we saw in financial year 2015, when the sector recorded sales of 19.7 million units. In other words, the entire sector has gone back by 7 years. When we talk of three-wheelers and we talk of commercial vehicles, it is at a decade low. The setback is to the tune of 10 years. When we talk of two-wheelers, the two-wheelers have a huge market in the rural sector, and despite India having a robust rural sector, in financial year 21, the two-wheeler sales were down by 5 to 7 million units as compared to what the sales were in financial year 2019. That's the kind of hit that the sector has taken. It's the worst hit that the sector has taken in 3 decades. The question is, which are the units in the sector which will survive and which will not? There are units like the giant auto companies, and down the line, there are small dealerships and there are also small MSME units, informal units, which support the sector. If you take the case of the big units, they are not in any precarious position according to us. Even though the sector has suffered a setback to the tune of 7 years in terms of sales, yet these big units are in no danger of survival. They have managed to cut costs. They have managed to shed excess labor. They have managed to increase prices. They have managed to delay their payments to their vendors to build their cash flows for survival. They have pushed dead stock and inventory to the dealers. They have got into the luxury vehicle segment, and they have support of banks and financial institutions giving them cash flows as and when they need. Because of their cost cutting, they have actually had better price realizations, and because of that, they today are in no danger of collapsing or closing down. Their cash flows remain adequate. System support remains huge to them. And if and when they need money for their survival, it will be available. Take the likes of Bajaj Auto. Sales of two-wheelers may have gone down, but Bajaj Auto yet has annual profits of about 4,000 crores, and its cash flow reserves remain substantially robust and strong. That's the story of big companies. They have huge cash reserves. They have huge system support. Banks and financial institutions are willing to give them cash as and when they need. And they are in no danger whatsoever, despite this 3-decade crisis that they have been hit with. And they going back to 2015 in terms of real numbers in respect of sales of number of units. These multiple, numerous and easy options to generate cash flows to support operations which are available to the big units in the auto sector are not available when we talk about the units in the MSME and the informal sector in the same industry, which is automobile industry. The system supports the big ones. The banks are willing to give them cash flows as and when needed. But the same banks, they are not willing to give cash flows, are not willing to give support when it comes to supporting the cash flows, the survival of small units in the automobile industry. The system is all for the big ones, but not so when it comes to the smaller ones. Thus, what happens when the smaller ones in the sector struggle for survival? What they witness is that banks are unwilling to support them with loans. Banks are unwilling to support them with restructuring of loans, because of which they very quickly get into a debt trap. Then what comes next is they are forced to downsize their operations for want of operating cash flows. That also is not sufficient for them to stabilize their operations, and resultantly, they are forced to dip into their life savings in order to fund their current losses, hoping that the bad times will end soon and they will be able to survive, and their dipping into their savings will prove to be justified. That also doesn't work very well, and the promoters of these units are forced to liquidate their personal assets for their sheer survival. What happens finally is these units downsize, they close down. And even the closure and liquidation of these units is not easy, because it carries the legacy of a burden of debt, a burden of unpaid statutory liabilities which continues for years together. At this time, in this second surge of COVID, we wouldn't even expect the government to give any kind of a financial fiscal support to these units. Not that anything great or generous was given last year, but even that would be missing in this second round of COVID wave coming back to India. What we are seeing is a stark inequality. A stark inequality between the big units and the small units, even in terms of options available for build-up of cash flows for survival. all those options that the big ones have are certainly not available to the small ones. And what better a demonstration or evidence that we need, or what we call the K-shaped recovery, if at all it is taking place in India. The big ones have got all the options such that they continue their growth trajectory northwards, but the small ones have got it missing such that their fortunes only continue to dip. And that's what is the inequality even in survival mechanisms for build-up of cash flows for survival. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.